NPM Trusted Publisher. So today we're going to dive into a tool that could really change, and more importantly, secure the way you publish your NPM packages. It's all about becoming what's known as an NPM Trusted Publisher.
All right, let me ask you something right off the bat. Think about your whole NPM workflow. What's the single biggest security risk you've got? You know, the one thing that if it ever got out could cause a world of hurt.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's that NPM_token hiding out in your GitHub secrets. We all do it, right? It's just standard practice. But the thing is, it's basically a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off. And that right there, that ticking time bomb, that's the heart of the problem with what we'd now call the old way of publishing. You know, relying on this single, super powerful token. It's a huge, glaring weak link in your supply chain. So let's break that down a bit.
So, what is this NPM_token, really? Well, you can think of it like a master key for your package on the NPM registry. The scary part is, it's a long-lived key. It basically lives forever unless you remember to go in and manually kill it. And that means you're on the hook for managing it, rotating it, and praying it never leaks. Honestly, it's just a huge security headache.
Let's just put it side by side. The old way? You're manually juggling these tokens, you're living with a constant fear of a leak, and you're probably writing a bunch of custom scripts just to get some basic automation. The new way we're talking about? It's simple. No tokens, no secrets, and it's fully automated, right from the get-go.
But hey, the good news is we don't have to live like that anymore. We've entered a much more modern way to publish packages. This isn't just a small step up, it's a real evolution in how we think about package management and security.
And this table? Wow. This really tells the whole story, doesn't it? Look at manual publishing. It's just no, no, no. Standard cicd is a little better, sure, but you're still stuck doing all this custom work yourself. But this workflow we're talking about, it's just check marks all the way down. Secretless? Check. Provenance? Check. Auto-syncing? Check. It is a completely different ballgame.
So you're probably wondering, how does this magic actually work? Well, it's a feature from NPM called Trusted Publishing. Under the hood, it uses a technology called OpenID Connect, or OIDC for short. Now, all you really need to know is that it lets your GitHub Actions workflow talk directly to NPM and say, hey, it's really me. And in return, NPM gives it a very short-lived, temporary token that's only good for that one job. The result? That static NPM_token becomes completely unnecessary. Poof. Gone.
Okay, so knowing about OIDC is cool, but actually setting it all up, that can be a bit of a pain. And that is exactly where this awesome tool comes into play. You can think of it as your automated release copilot. It's a CI/CD setup tool built by dev, and it just makes everything easy. What does it do? It's actually super simple, but so powerful. It just generates a complete, production-ready GitHub Actions workflow for you. That means you don't have to write a single line of YAML. It takes care of all the tricky configuration for trusted publishing right out of the box. It just works.
So, you might be asking, is this for me? Well, if you publish public packages, the answer is almost certainly yes. Are you a developer who just wants this to be easy? This is for you. Are you an open source maintainer who's tired of manual releases? Definitely for you. Or are you on a team that actually cares about supply chain security? Then yeah, this is absolutely for you.
All right, let's peel back the layers a little bit. What do you actually get? It really boils down to three key things: automation, security, and trust.
First up, and this is the big one, secretless publishing. The workflow talks directly to NPM using that OIDC magic we mentioned. So what does that mean for you? It means zero, none, no NPM_tokens to manage. You can literally go into your GitHub settings, delete that secret, and just forget it ever existed. That is a huge security win.
Next, we've got something called verifiable provenance. And trust me, this is a game changer. When you use trusted publishing, NPM gives your package this official little badge. And it's not just for looks. It's basically a cryptographic promise to your users that says, hey, this package came from this exact repo and this exact commit. It's total transparency, and it builds so much trust.
So how does it stay so secure? Well, it uses this really smart two-stage setup. First, you have the build job. This is where all the prep work happens. It syncs your version, updates the changelog, runs your tests, and commits your build files. Then, and only if all of that succeeds, the second job wakes up. Its one and only mission: authenticate using OIDC and publish the package.
It's a super clean, super secure way to separate your build process from your publishing credentials.
And the automation, it's not just about the publish step. We're talking about the whole shebang. You get hands-free change logs that are always in sync. Your package.json version is always going to match your GitHub release tag, no more drift. It even commits your build folder, like your dist directory, right back to the repo. So what you see on GitHub is exactly what your users get from NPM.
Okay, now for my favorite part. You're probably thinking, this sounds complicated to set up. Nope. You can get this entire workflow up and running in, I'm not kidding, seconds. No long docs, no messing with YAML files. It takes just one
Command. That's it. You just pop open your terminal, run npx npm trusted publisher in your project, and bam. The tool generates and sets up the whole GitHub Actions workflow for you. You're done.
And it's flexible too. You've got a few ways to do it. The CLI tool we just mentioned, that's the fastest way, for sure. If you're managing a ton of packages, you might want to use the reusable workflow option. And hey, if you just want to see the file yourself, you can always download the YAML directly. It's up to you.
So once you're set up, what does your new release process look like? It's almost too easy. You just go to GitHub, create a new release, give it a tag like v1.2.3, jot down your release notes, and hit publish. That's it. The automation handles literally everything else from there.
So that kind of leaves us with one last question, right? When you don't have to worry about managing tokens anymore, or manually writing change logs, or making sure your versions are in sync, you get all that time and mental energy back. So when your entire release process is just automated, secure, and totally trustworthy, what are you going to build next?